Traders. I'm Dennis Dick.
And I'm Joel Elconin. Welcome to Premarket Info.
Jobs data is out, and the market kind of liking it. We've rallied 5 points there. Jobs unemployment rate 7.9%. Non-farms payrolls up 171,000. We're going to do an earnings analysis from Priceline, AIG, StarBucks, LinkedIn, Chesapeake Chevron, and First Solar. And where does the market go from here? Joel, that is the question.
The question is, well, Mr. Bull Dennis, you got your way again with the market, rallying hard here. I'll tell you, and we discussed this before the number, I really don't see any resistance in this thing for another 3.25 points up to 1433.25. Don't know if that'd be the place to lay out the shorts, but definitely if it got up there, might be a place to lighten up on some longs. Coming back on the downside, Dennis, now you're going to have the 1423.25 as support up to Thursday's high at 1425. The market does not disappoint. Mr. Barack Obama will be back in the White House.
Yeah, you can see the spike right here. We were trading flat coming into the 830 number, and boom, we've rallied $6 since then. There was actually a blip down where they sold it off $1.50 just on the reports coming with bots versus bots, but in the same second they bought it back up. So we're up 6 points, looking okay here. Let's move on to the stocks. We have a couple big ones reporting. Priceline, wow, that's all I have to say on Priceline. Stock is trading at $6.49 right now after closing at 586. And look at the technicals here. Look at these two tops back in September, 649 and 649.30. Where are we right now? 649.
Wow. Well, we did have a little bit of a tip-off on this. We were the Expedia numbers.
Yes, we did. Expedia, and you're right, and you actually did say that. The Expedia numbers were great. Priceline had actually rallied off of those numbers there a few trading sessions ago. So you had to expect the Priceline was going to beat. It's 1240 versus 1182, so they beat handily, and the stock is coming right into resistance.
Yeah, let's look at the pre-market activity. Basically, that's what we have to go on here. Hit a 652 high. Since then, with the lowest that it's traded is 646.61. So those are your numbers for right now, folks. Above that 652 level, you start to get into some of that gappage area where you gap down back in October. I'm looking at 657.33 as the next resistance level if we can clear that 652.
Chevron just reported earnings here too. Stock has not traded much since then. Reported earnings 269 versus estimates of 283, so a slight miss for Chevron. It's only traded some light shares. I know it says 13,000, but that was a cross. There's only been about a couple hundred shares traded here this morning, so nobody's really made the call on whether they like these earnings or not from Chevron.
Really, the only thing I can say about Chevron here is it's trying to put a bottom in here. We've had some lows in the 109 area, 109.03, 109.10, 109.25. We're still 2 sticks away from there. So until we take out those lows around 109, you got to believe it's going to retrace some of this move from making the all-time high at 118.50.
AIG reported earnings too. They look good, $1.13 versus estimates of 87 cents. The stock initially rallied on it after hours. Now is selling off. It's down over $1 at 34.10, closed 35.20. If you look at the low there from Wednesday, that was 34.16. So interesting enough, we're kind of hanging out right there near Wednesday's low.
Yeah, I'd use that as support if it breaks through that area, which in the pre-market, our pre-market low has been 34.02.
34
so you
now.
Yeah, 34.
That's 34.
Too soon. Yeah, that's a slippery slope there. I mean, you had some highs at that area back in September. We did break out from that area, traded back over 36. 34, I don't think I'd want to be long a lot of this stock if it breaks through 34. Do not see really any resistance in the book to 33.48, which was the low on October 3rd. But as you always know, it just doesn't go straight to your support points.
We've got Starbucks reported earnings last night as well, and it's trading up 4 points here. Like these earnings, they beat by a penny. They raised guidance by a couple of cents, and they rally the thing $4. It's kind of hard to figure out, even if you knew the report ahead of time. It's kind of hard to figure out how to trade the things, even with that information. $50.60. It's up after closing 46.61. So nice up move for Starbucks.
Yeah, I think, boy, if you've been long this thing, been bottom fishing, along the way here, you get this pop up here. There was a double top at 49.20. We've obviously cleared that. Just making pre-market highs, 50.68. I think this is one of these situations where, you wait to see if it's trading at its high at, 9.25, 9.26, and then maybe try and whack along out there. Looking in the book, 50.44. We've already surpassed that. That was a high in the second. Next resistance level I have, according to the charts here, is 51.30. That was a high on October 1st.
I like the 51. I'm going to tell you the number I like. $52 was the high on September 14th. Right before there was a 51.85 high. This thing's already rallied $4. I think it could rally another. I think it can rally another $5. I wouldn't buy it up here. I don't want to own this thing. I don't love it, but I'm looking for a spot to get short, and I think that spot might be just under 52. If it started to trade 52 above 52, I'd probably get out. But below 52, right in that 51.85 to 51.90 area, I think if you get a shot at it, and that's what we always try to set you guys up, is with scenario analysis. If the stock rallies another dollar from here, I'm probably going to want to get short. That's my own trading.
Throw that one in GTC, okay?
Throw that one in GTC. You don't think it can get another? You think a stock goes up $4, it can't go up another buck? You nuts. That thing can easily trade up to 52.
I don't need you to tell me that. I hear it constantly from my family, but I just think it's overdone here.
I think so too, Joel. I'm on the same side as you. I'm not looking to buy it. I'm looking to sell it. But I think if you're selling it at 50.62, or if you're selling at 51, I think you're a little early. I think you could get a better price, and I'm looking in that 51.90 area.
Okay.
That's my take on it. First Solar reported earnings here too. Stock trading down here off the earnings report. And here's another one. Look, they beat the number of $1.27 against a $1.07. They did lower the revenue outlook just slightly, and they don't like to hear any bad news from First Solar, and they're beating it up. It's down $1.50.
Yeah, well, you initially got a spike off that in the pre-market. Someone a little quick on the finger there, traded up to 26.80. After that, it's been in a very, very steady decline here, making a low this morning at 22.75 and just kind of hanging out here. You had a series of higher lows here that has been broken. I would take a look here at the 22, let's call it 2270 area. You had 3 consecutive lows between 2256 and 2283. Look, that possibly could be a place to cover short. I don't know if I'd stick my nose out to go long. After that, you're looking under the $22 level at 21.74 to 82.
Yeah, I'm not in love with this company either. Just the way they report revenue, we've talked about it before. They report it when they sign the contracts, not when they make it. It kind of makes the whole earnings on this. Like if you look at a valuation perspective and say, oh, they're going to make $4 next year, what a cheap stock. It's just kind of sketchy the way they report the earnings, and I'm just not in love with this company. LinkedIn LNKD also reported it's up $9. It continues to defy all odds. 22 cents it makes against estimates of 11. This stock just keeps on holding on, and then it seems like every time it comes out with a report, they beat.
Yeah, you can't complain about that. 117.16 has been the high in the pre-market. 35,000 shares have traded. I would keep an eye on that level. You did have a high at 118 on October 9th, so I keep an eye on that. After that, we're looking at 119.42. That was the high on October 8th.
So you got some resistance up there in the whole 120 area, Joel.
Yeah. That's $5 for a little over $4 from here, but
It's a volatile
But
stock. It can move.
yeah.
Ralph Lauren also reported earnings. Had a nice run up yesterday into the earnings. It's giving a little bit back. They lowered their full year sales estimates. That's why the stock's trading down $1 here in the pre-market at 158 after closing at 159.04. You got major resistance up there in that 160 area. You had multiple highs in early October. You topped out there on October the 22nd recently at 159.93, and then yesterday at 159.46. So once you start getting into that 159.5 to 160, you're finding resistance.
Yeah, just one quick thing going back to that Lincoln, just looking at the pre-market chart. If you are playing it from the long side, 115's been holding up, so you might have to cut it loose if it breaks below 115. Don't see a lot of support in that. Going back to one of your favorite retailers where you shop all the time, Ralph Lauren, 161 was a straight print of only 200 shares in the pre-market. That was the high. Besides that, 160's been holding up pretty good here. Little gap area in here that may try and fill today. That stock has really had a nice run here since when it hit that low in July. Looking at the pre-market low, 153.69. So I mean, this thing's been all over the place. I don't know. I think I could be a SOH day in Ralph Lauren.
Hard to say. It just actually ticked up to 159.75 here too, so there does still appear to be some resistance up in that area. Let's just give an outlook quick on Apple and Google because these are traded quite often. Apple trading flat here right now, up only 37 cents. Not a lot of days you can say Apple's only up 40 cents. 596.99 after closing 596.53. Still trading under the $600 level.
Yeah, look, that thing has been quiet the last couple
Has.
days. Yeah, it's had a over 100-point sell-off since reaching that all-time high. I just would look at the parameters in the pre-market. You made a low at 593.75, and then your high in the pre-market has been 597.98. So I'd keep an eye on those levels. The better-looking chart, and I was talking to one of our subscribers yesterday about the Goog Monster. I mean, that's about as good a bottom as you can put in a volatile stock like this, all those lows. And, he was looking at some longer-term options. And I said, hey, if you're doing it, just cut it loose if this thing gets under 670. And it's had a nice rally. Just staying with the tech theme, Dennis, this Microsoft, what's going on with Microsoft?
It's rallying here. The last 2-3 sessions just taking off again on yesterday. The stock rallying over 50 cents. So it's in full-on rally mode. I think it's going to make a run for 30, and it might see it today. It's 29.61 is where it's trading right now in the pre-market. Only 40 cents away from that 30 psychological number. That was support back in August. That was a little bit of resistance. I know it cut through it there in late September up to 30.25, but I gotta think you're gonna run into some sellers when this thing starts trading in the 30s.
Yeah, there's also some major tops here at 29.72 and 29.74 from earlier in the month. So keep an eye on that. It could easily blow through there and go up and test the $30 level, but looks like good resistance there in Mr. Softy.
Well, the market's slowly still trying to climb here. We're up 7 now here in the pre-market. This slow, steady climb happening, up 7.25. So it seems like they are going to continue to rally this market. We did blip down while we were on the show down to the 1326 area or 1426 area, but now trading over 1430. Can we keep rallying here, Joel?
I don't see. I mean, 1433.25. I'll reiterate that as the 6-day high. That'll be our next resistance point. After that, there's just not much in there. We kind of whooshed down through this area earlier in the month. 1433 is the number I'm going to be looking at. Any kind of pullback again to that 1425, 1426 area should be very good support.
I'll give you some props on Wells right before we close the show. You closed yesterday saying how you had good support down here in this 3360 area. Well, Wells Fargo actually trading higher at 34.20 now. So stock is looking good there. Joel had a nice rally off that low that you called yesterday. Can Wells continue to rally here?
Yeah, I mean it's already trading above it. yesterday's high. I mean, take note, folks, when a stock closes on its exact high of the day, kind of gives you a little bit of an indication of what's going to do in the overnight session. Of course, the SPUs helped out. I would look, hopefully, if this comes back down to the close and the high at 34, chance to nibble it along. I see some minor resistance right where we're trading now at 34.26, but really opens up to the 34.60 level after that.
Well, that's our show for today. We're going to try to get the shows going live for you next week, so try to join us there. It should be up around 8:30. Hopefully we can get you guys going live here on the shows. Have a great weekend. We'll be back with you Monday.